Hey there. You know those gray metal boxes you see everywhere? Up on utility poles, on street corners? You can't miss them. And you can definitely hear them, right? That constant, low hum that's just kind of part of the background noise of our lives. But have you ever stopped to wonder what they're actually doing? Well, today we're going to crack open the mystery of one of the most important and honestly most misunderstood devices on the entire planet, the electrical transformer.
I bet you've walked past these things 1,000 times. That humming box is just always there, quietly managing the electricity for whole neighborhoods. And yet, almost nobody has a clue what's happening on the inside. So, what is the big secret behind this silent giant?
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll tackle the mystery of the humming box itself. Then, we'll get into its one, simple but incredibly powerful job. After that, we'll explore the magic of induction that makes it all possible. And finally, you'll see exactly why our entire electrical grid would completely fall apart without them.
All right, first things first, let's clear up a really common misunderstanding. These transformers, they don't make power. They're not like a little power plant. And they don't store power either. They're definitely not batteries. Nope, their job is something way more clever and way more important.
And I am not exaggerating when I say this. Without these boxes, sending electricity across the country would be basically impossible. The lights would go out, the internet would die, our entire world would just stop. They really are the unsung heroes of modern life. So what is this one crucial job they do? Well, it's surprisingly simple. A transformer changes voltage. That's it. It can take a low voltage and step it up to a really high one. Or it can take a high voltage and step it way down to a low one. It's a simple trick with a massive, world-changing impact.
Okay, so here's the official textbook definition for you. A transformer is a device that changes the voltage of an alternating current. Now, I want you to hang on to that one word, alternating, because it's the absolute secret to this whole thing. And you know, the way this works is just so beautifully simple. You've got two main types. A step-up transformer makes voltage go up by passing electricity from a coil with fewer wire turns to a coil with more turns. A step-down transformer, you guessed it, it does the exact opposite, going from more turns to fewer. The whole game is just about the ratio of those wire turns. That's all that matters.
Seriously, if you could just pop the lid off one of those boxes, this is all you would find inside. 2 coils of wire and an iron core that they're both wrapped around. That's it. That's the whole machine. Kind of amazing for a device that our civilization literally can't survive without.
But wait a second. How does the electricity get from that first coil to the second one? This, my friends, is where the real magic happens. It's all thanks to a core principle in physics called electromagnetic induction.
Okay, check this out. First, that alternating current we talked about flows into the first coil. Because AC is constantly flipping direction, it creates this pulsing, always changing magnetic field. The iron core acts like a superhighway for that magnetic field, guiding it directly over to the second coil. And then, this is the wild part, electricity just appears in the second coil. It's like it's created out of thin air.
I want you to just think about that for a second. The 2 coils of wire, they never ever touch. There are no gears. There are no spinning parts. Nothing moves. The energy literally jumps across an invisible magnetic field from one wire to the other. It is just an incredible piece of engineering.
Oh, and that humming sound, the one we started with, well, that's just the sound of the iron core physically vibrating back and forth thousands of times a second because of that powerful magnetic field. You are literally hearing physics at work. And this right here is exactly why alternating current is so important. Because AC is always changing, it creates that changing magnetic field you need for induction. Direct current, or DC, just flows in one direction. It makes a steady magnetic field, sure, but since it's not changing, no induction. So transformers simply do not work with DC. This one huge advantage is pretty much the reason AC won the famous War of the Currents and now powers our entire world. So how does this simple device change the world? Well, it all comes down to efficiency. To send electricity hundreds of miles without losing most of it, you need incredibly high voltage. We're talking hundreds of thousands of volts. But obviously, you can't have that crazy voltage coming into your home to power your TV. Transformers are the essential bridge that makes both things possible.
They are everywhere in the grid. Right at the power plant, you've got giant step-up transformers that boost the voltage for its long-distance trip. When it gets to a city, a substation steps it down to a safer level. And finally, that little box on your street corner does the final step down, delivering the safe, usable voltage right to your outlets.
So the big takeaway is simple. Without transformers stepping the voltage way up for the long haul and then stepping it way back down for safety, most of the power would just get lost as heat in the wires. Our modern electrical grid simply could not exist.
But, there's a modern twist to this story. We just said transformers only work with AC, right? But your laptop and your phone run on DC batteries. So what's going on there? Well, your chargers and power bricks have tiny, super smart electronic circuits inside that act like DC transformers. They can chop up DC voltage, convert it, and do whatever they need to do. So while the big grid still plays by the old rules, technology has definitely evolved.
So the next time you walk by one of those quiet, humming boxes, I hope you'll see it a little differently. It's not just a piece of boring equipment. It's the silent, tireless heart of our electric world, performing one of the most important jobs on Earth. It really makes you wonder, what other invisible technologies are out there, powering our daily lives? Something to think about.